Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the New York Jets and the Jacksonville Jaguars. And it comes your way next.
With the winter chill gripping much of the nation, no such worries today here in the Sunshine State and Everbank Stadium in Jacksonville.
Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis, thrilled to be with you from the broadcast booth. And partner, before we get this thing started, what are you going to be watching?
Who gets off to a fast start? In horse racing terms, they talk about catching a flyer out of the gate. Who sets the pace and makes the other team chase?
Greg Zuerlein now. He'll handle the honors to get us started. And off we go from Jacksonville.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. And a stoppage here. We're going to need to take a moment as a Jet was shaken up on that one. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. They go play action now. Lawrence.
Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. It's caught inside the 25. And DP goes into Jets territory before being taken down. A huge play there right off the bat. 58 yards.
I've heard of quick strike offenses, but this is taking that to the extreme. I mean, the very first snap of the ball game, normally you're thinking, let's get our quarterback comfortable and get him into the flow of the game, but not here. They come out attacking from the outset, and it pays off in a big way.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
Looking to throw, Lawrence.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
Gabriel Davis.
A 14-yard touchdown.
And the Jags need just 2 plays on their opening drive to take the early lead. Well, they spoke about the importance of getting off to a good start, and they're on their first drive, Charles, into the end zone for the touchdown.
And what an advantage for them. They're already clicking one drive in, didn't need to wait to get up to full speed. We had heard about the extra time they'd put in with each other, trying to learn each other's skills, what they liked, the whole deal, and it paid off early in this one. I would expect them to keep firing on the next drive and keep that connection going.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. And he's able to get it across the 20 to the 25-yard line. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by the former Cal Bear, Aaron Rodgers.
And I'll bet he's talking to his guys about resisting the temptation to try and turn this into an up-and-down game, almost like basketball, where both teams press and one team gets an advantage, our team's trying to run with them, and they're just not equipped for it. Doesn't matter whether you're equipped or not. Just settle in, get calm before you go for the big strikes.
Rodgers and the Jets now with a 1st and 10
at their own 25-yard line.
They'll start on the ground. Hall. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
On play action, Rodgers. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack.
Trayvon Walker. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
Chalk that one up to bad acting, I guess, because they certainly failed to sell the handoff, and the pressure stayed keyed in on the quarterback. No Oscar awards for this offense, just a loss of yardage.
So a tough situation to overcome here. 3rd and 17.
Throwing now is Rodgers. Dancing to his left. A gain of 4, not enough, and it looks like punt time on their opening drive as it's 4th down.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big 3rd down play, and they did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big 4th down call.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. This will be a 41-yard punt, 3 on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10.
So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the 2nd time here in this game. Well, just 2 series in here, Charles, but everything's gone to script so far. They got a touchdown on their first drive. Their defense holds, and now they've got a chance to take a 2-score lead.
And to co-sign with you, exactly the start they scripted up. And really, that kind of start, that can set the tone for the game for them.
Now ETN to start the drive.
And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
From the 43, here's 2nd and 5. ETN once more. And he'll be tackled at the 45 following a gain of just 2. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Now they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. Now this is going to work out well as it's out of bounds near the 13-yard line.
Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their 2nd drive.
The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Now Hall to start the drive.
And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Hall again on 2nd down.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They'll come up now 3rd and 3.
Now Rodgers. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. And it looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
Now the veteran Thomas Morstead on to punt it away. Taking it about the 36. They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42.
And they will take over 1st and 10. Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over.
They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10.
They'll start on the ground. ETN.
And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on 1st down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Off the play fake. Here's Lawrence.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
On 1st and 10, it's ETN.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
C.J. Mosley getting to him behind the line of scrimmage there.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the 1st half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So the 1st down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12.
Another tote for ETN.
And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
1st down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down.
Here's Lawrence to throw. He's got his running back out of the backfield.
And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 25-yard line. The 3rd down conversion is successful. Give them 12 yards that time.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Now Lawrence.
And completes it to Kirk over the middle. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. It's a pickup of 12. 2nd play in a row with a 12-yard gain.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Lawrence.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
And the Jags are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
ETN will score. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
Well, solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there, and each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Now for the point after. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. So that drive in total 8 plays.
And it was capped off by a Travis Etienne touchdown run.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over.
They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
And I think we're all starting to wonder with this early deficit, what will that do to their play calling? Do they feel like they have to be more aggressive because they're throwing to start the drive here, but it winds up incomplete?
Now a 2nd and 10.
Throwing is Rodgers.
They'll set up the screen for Hall.
Powering his way forward. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 17 yards for the Jets there as they've got themselves a first down.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
His throw incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone, and there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. On play action, it's Rodgers. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a first down.
Well, that one hurts. I mean, it was 3rd down, of course, but now the penalty, and we're back to 1st down.
Yeah, it hurts momentum in a big way, and they built that up here in the early going. Now, that leaves the opposition with a first down. That's a mistake you don't want to make at this point in the game.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit when he decided not to throw it on first down. But give them credit. They recovered in time to deny him the first down yardage. But it's only 2nd and short. So that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
Out of the gun, they run it with Hall.
And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
They'll run with Hall.
And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Now they'll throw with Rodgers. Open man here is Conklin. And he's going to have a gain of 11 to the 11 before he's brought down. 1st and 10.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Rodgers going to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his second drop of the game. Here's Rodgers. To the back of the end zone, but too high. Over everybody and incomplete.
That was not a real confident throw right there, and he's just 2 of 7 to start the game. Now he's going to have to find a groove with a big third down coming up. Let's see if his confidence can increase.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have him looking at 3rd and 10. To throw is Rodgers. And he comes back with one complete. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll bring up 4th down.
That was a nice throw out there to the flat, but they defended that pretty well. The hope is to go ahead and put it on him so he can turn and get upfield and gain additional yardage. There just wasn't anywhere to go on that play.
Zuerlein's kick is up and through, and they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3.
So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD, and it comes on the 3rd drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far, finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
After the made field goal, Zuerlein back out there now to send this one away.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Jacksonville set to go again offensively. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it's 2nd down. How about the first quarter he's putting together out wide? Pretty impressive.
I think that he likes the fact that we're playing this as a day game. You know, some guys, they respond better in the evenings. For some reason, it builds up. For this guy, day game, and he is off and running. You're exactly right. 100 might be conservative with the start that he's had here in the first quarter.
Yeah, by the numbers, he's on pace for 200+ right now.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down.
Here's Lawrence. Screenplay. Here's Etienne. And he will have a Jaguars first down by about 1 yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4.
A pretty sizable deficit here in the first quarter. This defense probably need to get off the field in those situations on 3rd down.
And you and I both know in this huddle before that last 3rd down play, that's exactly what they talked about. Let's make a play. Let's get off the field. Let's reverse the momentum. Instead, they got hit with another first down, almost back to the drawing board.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line.
Well, hang on here a second. Looks like a Jaguar in some obvious discomfort from that last play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches.
And they'll go again with ETN.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
From midfield now, Lawrence. And a catch made by his tight end, Luke Farrell.
And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
Here's 2nd and 3. On play action, Lawrence.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Samuel Aguavin.
The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
He's going to air this thing out deep for Thomas. And this is dropped. Oh, my goodness. There was no one around him, but he took his eye off it, and it falls incomplete.
And this was a little bit of the knock on him coming out of college. Sometimes the concentration could wander a bit. This should have been a big play, but somehow he's not able to corral it.
A Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away.
And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. New York set to take the field. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Here's Rodgers to throw. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And 3rd and 1 now.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. On 3rd down, here's Hall. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Jet 1st down. Obviously an important run to avoid the 3 and out on your own side of the field.
Shows a lot of faith in that offensive unit, doesn't it? That you want to run the ball in that situation. Pick up the 1st down. Also helps out your defensive guys a little bit too. Allows them to get at least one more series of downs in order to get some rest.
On 1st down, right back to Hall.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Now Rodgers. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this 1st quarter. After one, a 14-3 ball game. The Jets with the football here to start the second quarter, as they've got it with a third down coming up.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Now it's Rodgers.
This one deep for Wilson.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit him over the top, unsuccessfully.
Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he's on to punt for New York. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here.
No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10.
At their own 15.
They'll look to ETN to start things out.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes being a linebacker in the middle of the field is kind of like being a doctor on the field. You got to make the right diagnosis. Here he correctly sends his run and shoots through to make the play in the backfield.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
A shotgun snap and a give to ETN.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line.
43 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
And now they'll throw it with Lawrence. Quick slant caught by Kirk. And Kirk is going to have the Jaguars first down as he'll get this up past the 40.
9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
2 first downs have him up to the 41 now for 1st and 10.
Play action. It's Lawrence. He'll air this one out for Kirk.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, they had that one snipped out defensively. That's a tough one to connect on when you've got multiple defenders in the area, and it winds up incomplete.
2nd and 10. Back to the ground with ETN. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43.
16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43.
They run the option left with Lawrence.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down.
Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down.
Not a big run, not an explosive run, but they've held the ball for plenty of plays on this drive. They're just trying to impose their will on the defense right now.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Now Lawrence. Pass taken in by his big tight end. Touchdown, Jaguars. Brenton Strange, 41 yards, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further.
For a big tight end, he can sure move like a slot receiver when he gets a head of steam going. And as a defensive back, you've got a big decision to make when he's moving like that.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And it's 21-3. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it culminates in a Jags touchdown. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. And the Jets set to take the field. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
To throw, it's Rodgers.
Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series, before you get out there, hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Rodgers now to throw.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
They'll give to Hall.
And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory.
44 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
Throwing now is Rodgers.
Throwing quickly to Wilson.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars 39. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. Now Rodgers. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 24-yard line. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
And a nice job by the two of them to not only connect on the pitch and the catch, but to carry over their practice work to the game field. They saw the adjustment by the defense, made an adjustment themselves, and picked up the first down.
Back to the ground with Hall.
And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays. We often give credit to the O-line there. Two tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
Throwing is Rodgers. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10.
Trayvon Walker. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
On any first and goal, the real estate to work with for the offense is really cut down, and the defense knows it. So they often bring heat and pressure, which they did on this play. Got him down for a loss. Not a big one, but any loss of yardage in this position is tough for an offense.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on second and goal here. Looking to throw. Rodgers.
Over the middle and complete to Wilson.
And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown.
Garrett Wilson.
From 10 yards out.
And the Jets are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
Tell you what, not every quarterback is going to stay in the pocket. They sense the pressure coming. He took a hit there, still was able to stay in, make the throw, and complete it for a score.
And a lot of times you see a quarterback take a hit like that, and now all he wants to do is protect the football. Just take the sack and not turn it over. But not in this case. Took the big shot and found his guy downfield.
Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and it makes the score 21-10. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told.
And Garrett Wilson capped things off with a touchdown grab.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. As the offense returns, let's take a look at running back Travis Etienne.
And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here.
Now Lawrence. He'll get this into the hands of the wideout from LSU.
A gain of 8 there on the play, and it'll be second and a couple.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while, get at least 2 first downs, give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Draw play, Etienne. And Etienne going to have a Jags first down as he gets this up past the 40.
Second and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. Second and 10 coming up.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now Lawrence to throw. That's complete to Parker Washington. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 42. A nice pickup of 17 yards.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
ETN up the middle.
And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
So from the 37, here's a 2nd and 4. Looking to throw, Lawrence.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Thomas. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
Lawrence will throw. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
It certainly looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
A give to ETN running right.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Here's Lawrence to throw. A short throw there to Strange.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
They'll send a receiver in motion left.
Here's Lawrence. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Looked like both sides were anticipating a quick throw there, and the defense was ready to jump in and deny it, and they did.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Handoff running left is ETN.
And power running here down to the 6-yard line.
83 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Lawrence. That is caught. Touchdown. Christian Kirk on the receiving end of that touchdown pass from Trevor Lawrence. And the Jaguars are able to stretch out their lead.
Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And the lead is up to 18 now. So that drive, 12 plays in length, and it results in a touchdown for Jacksonville. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now this offense and Garrett Wilson headed back out.
He's been good so far to this point in the second quarter. Need to get him even more involved, maybe?
I would agree with that. Definitely. Yeah, it's not even a question for me. The way he's playing, he's doing a nice job. Increase things. More touches, more opportunities. Maybe that can reverse things on the scoreboard for them.
They'll try to ratchet things up then maybe here in the second quarter.
They'll start on the ground. Hall. And that to the 30. It'll be second down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. He wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Now a 2nd and 6.
Working from the gun, Rodgers.
A short throw to Conklin, the tight end.
Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
Straight ahead is Hall. And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Hall again on second down.
And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
This now a 3rd and 4.
To throw is Rodgers.
They'll set up the screen for Hall.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 10 yards is the pickup, good enough for a Jet first down.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the first half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that can take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush so far.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando.
That's complete. It's Malachi Corley.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 more yards there and another first down.
And maybe that touchdown on the previous drive has re-energized this offense a little bit. They've been kind of sluggish until then, but they're showing signs of life here. And they get good yardage that time and a first down.
Here's Rodgers to throw.
Open man here is Conklin.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point that continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down. He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that he can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
But with the score where it is, you're not thinking field goals right now. You need touchdowns. So that was a much-needed conversion there on 3rd down.
1st and 10 here. And, you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle.
Now a timeout called for by the offense. as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. This 2nd and 4. Rodgers going to throw.
He gets it underneath to Hall.
Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime.
They'll run with Hall.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Jets.
Breece Hall
taking it in from 2 yards out.
And the Jets get a late score here in the final minute of the first half.
Well, that touchdown certainly helps, but they've got to go ahead and convert, get to the half, and figure out how to keep chopping down this lead in the second, don't they?
Yeah, they still need to regroup, and they still need to end the second quarter strong. A little bit of time left. Zerline now for the PAT. And that one makes this an 11-point deficit now. That one in the books as a 12-play drive.
And it was capped off by a Breece Hall touchdown run.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Jaguars offense and Travis Etienne set to take over once again. He's been a tough man to stop in this first half. He's putting up some big numbers already, and we have yet to reach halftime. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Already enjoying a 2-score lead here late in the second quarter. Not a ton of time left. We'll see if they can work this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 to add on even more to their lead.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. 2nd and 10 now from the 27.
From the gun, it's Lawrence.
Throw left side, taken in by Washington. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. So we hit the halftime break here in Jacksonville with the Jags on top. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
In the first half, we saw a strong outing from Trevor Lawrence. He threw a first-quarter touchdown pass, then 2 more in the second quarter, a 3-touchdown half. And he may just be getting started.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
The Jets going to get the football first, and they trail as well as we get back underway in this second half.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Jets offense and Aaron Rodgers getting set for their next drive. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And Charles, some things to like about that first half. Ultimately trailing here, but certainly this deficit is manageable. So curious to see what adjustments they may have made at intermission.
As am I, because I think things bode well for a possible comeback, because I thought a lot of their best reps in the first half came through the passing game. They were hitting the open receivers, taking whatever the coverage gave them and making it work well for themselves. Now, they just want to pick up the pace of scoring a little bit. So I expect them to come out and continue to throw the ball effectively.
Here's Rodgers. A short throw to Conklin, the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Fifth catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
Hall ought to give up the middle.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line.
83 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon, and that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
Now it's Rodgers. Buying time to his left. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
2 yards to go, second down.
Now they'll throw with Rodgers. Throw left side complete. That's Hall. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it'll set him up first and goal. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. First and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line.
Brought to the ground by the linebacker, Foye Oluokun. Well, that's not how you hope to draw it up there on first and goal, CD, by taking a sack like that.
Well, they tried to be aggressive, didn't they? They didn't want to try and work their way past the goal line. They wanted it right there on that play. Unfortunately, it backfired against them. Now they have to try and pick it up here moving forward.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's second and goal. Now Rodgers. Eluding the pressure right. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
It was Eric Armstead fighting his way through that time to record the sack.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has now received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Two straight sacks have him backed up now for a third and goal.
Throwing now is Rodgers. And he'll find Hall. Gets around him. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. 11 yards, but still not enough. Fourth down.
Well, partner, they've used him quite well out of the backfield in this one. And here's another nice example. They set up the screen, and he's able to pick his way downfield for a nice gain there.
Zerline's kick is up and through, and that'll make this an 8-point game.
So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. Let's get the ball back for us.
After the made field goal, Zerline back out there now to send this one away.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Jaguars offense and Trevor Lawrence getting set for this next drive. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive.
They have played so strongly. You look at the scoreboard, you probably, with the way they played, you would think the margin would be a lot bigger, right?
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The former 3rd overall pick, Quinnen Williams, there to bring him down.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball got super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for this 3rd quarter.
Lawrence, now this is ETN on the draw.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
Now 3rd down and 7. Now Lawrence. And this is going to be incomplete.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. The Jets ready to get going again here on offense. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. The New York offense taking over for their next possession.
And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Now a 2nd and 2. A handoff for Hall. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 10 yards is the pickup, good enough for a Jet 1st down.
He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I love one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Now Rodgers. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Right there in coverage was Foye Oluokun.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Steps away to his left. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
Straight ahead, Etienne. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a 1st down as well.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
They go play action with Lawrence. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Lawrence running right on the option. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 4 yards there on the keeper, but still going to bring up a 3rd down.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and make sure he spills it for a small gain.
Now Lawrence. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Jags 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Couple of 1st downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Running out of the gun with Etienne. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
2nd down and a yard. Another tote for Etienne. Able to fight through 1 tackle. And he's got this down to the 35. 10 yards there. Good enough for a Jags 1st down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They'll send Kirk in motion right. They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle.
And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
A give running right, Etienne. And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line.
10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down. It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
And now they'll throw it with Lawrence.
And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
The defense did its job of taking away a quick throw, but that's only half the battle because they've got to get to him before he can make a run for it. A little bit late containing him there, so he makes a nice gain out of a play that looked like it was in trouble.
In motion right is Thomas.
Here's a give to Etienne.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. And give them 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
It's no accident they've been moving the ball well all game long. This offensive line has done an excellent job adapting to everything the defense is throwing at them and creating holes for their runners.
Now Lawrence to throw.
That is incomplete.
And down here, 1st and goal, if it's not there, don't force it. You've got at least 2, if not 3 more shots at it. So that's a wise move to get rid of it.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal.
Looking to throw, Lawrence.
Touchdown, Jaguars!
Parker Washington.
A 7-yard touchdown grab.
And the Jaguars have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is up to 15 now. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And it culminates in a Jags touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Escapes the defender.
And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Jets offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
They'll run with Hall.
And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the 1st.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Hall again. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. He was brought down by Foyesade Oluwakin.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And oh, he coughed it up. And the Jags grab it. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. There are two words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S, ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you've got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
The Jaguars back with it on offense. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. So they recover their own fumble. Now they face 3rd and short. A give running right is Hall. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up 1st and 10 at their own 13. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And that is incomplete here.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
A 2nd and 10 forthcoming here. 3rd quarter action from Jacksonville. A handoff for Etienne. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Tough spot here. 3rd down and 11. Lawrence will throw. And that will be incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
Here's Logan Cook now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. The visitors' offense and Breece Hall headed out onto the field. And you have to imagine this defense saying, how do we stop this guy? He has run roughshod through him to this point in the third quarter. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That is Josh Hines Allen getting in there to bring him down.
And now you have to wonder, partner, at what point in time do they forget the running game? It's been a struggle so far in this one. I would think they'd have to start throwing it a little bit more.
Hall again on second down.
And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line.
On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now fourth down.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Yeah, still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Back now in Jacksonville. It's Jaguar football here, and they'll look to extend their lead as we begin quarter number 4.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. A short throw there to Strange.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
18 more yards there and another first down.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the fourth quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage, because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get additional guys running at the quarterback.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Complete to Washington. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Washington in motion left.
Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here.
He finds some way to turn this into positive yardage as he struggles forward for a pickup of about 2.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Great vision there by Lawrence as he scrambles for a first down.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair, because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, Almost impossible.
Well, yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too.
Gets this quickly to Ingram.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Evan Ingram from 19 yards away.
And the Jaguars have pretty well put it away here in the fourth quarter. Well, it seemed like they were so focused elsewhere they forgot about the tight end spot, and he's the one that burns him there to make this a 3-score game here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
I think there might be a little bit of defensive fatigue from those guys on that side of the ball, partner, because they've been spending their time trying to stop them from all angles. This time the tight end gets them.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead opens up now to 22 points. That time a 6-play drive.
And Evan Ingram able to finish it off with a touchdown reception.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
And New York set to take the field.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnelled. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Yeah, that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete passer we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Throwing is Rodgers.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the fourth. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where, as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution. Even though the scoreboard is going against you, you want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Ball on the 39. Here's second down and a yard.
To throw is Rodgers. Rodgers sliding to a stop with a first down. What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him the first.
As he came to the line of scrimmage, he knew he didn't need much to reset the chain, so when he saw the space he needed, no hesitation. He went to the marker and got his guys a first down.
To throw, it's Rodgers.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. From the gun, it's Rodgers.
A short throw to Conklin, the tight end.
They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Rodgers now to throw.
That one taken in by Corley.
And he is stopped just short on third down. Got 9 yards, but needed 10.
Then we got to give a little tip of the cap for the defense there. Zone coverage, locked it in tight, made it really difficult because they tried the crossing route against it, and it worked for a completion, but you have to know where the sticks are on third down. Didn't get beyond them, no pickup.
And he gives himself up, but not before he gets the conversion. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth.
There he goes, and for good reason. Running with it has paid dividends earlier in this game and earlier on this drive. And until they prove they can stop him, I don't think he's going to be shy about continuing to run for first downs instead of airing it out.
Now a play fake. Rodgers.
Taken in left side, it's Wilson.
And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. So with the completed pass and the yardage they got, they'll decline the penalty.
So obviously more yards on the pass completion than they would have gained with the penalty. They did the math. They did it well, and it works for them.
They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Rodgers going to throw. He's got it. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch. Not much yardage afterwards.
2nd and goal from the 1. Rodgers to throw once more.
Toward the pylon, but it's incomplete.
Boy, that was lockdown coverage there. He's scanning for someone to come open. But that was great work to blanket everyone. And in the end, he's just got to throw it away.
This likely a must-have. 3rd and goal.
Here's Rodgers to throw. Forced out to, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
And a field goal obviously means nothing here. They're going to go ahead and go for it on 4th down.
They'll go for it. It's Hall.
And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. They stop him up short on 4th and goal from the 1. And the Jaguars are able to come up with a goal line stand. Well, they knew who to turn to on 4th down. Their horse, they needed the short yardage. He just couldn't get it.
And that's a surprise because normally that's bread and butter for them, right? Hand it to the big guy, let him go, pick up the first down. Didn't get it there. All credit to the defense. Usually, even if they know he's coming, he can't be stopped, and they got it done on that play.
Now ETN to start the drive.
And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6 yard line.
tackle on that play by Quinnen Williams. So fourth quarter, a nice run there to start this drive. Charles, what do you think the split will be here between run and pass?
Well, partner, I think it'll lean towards the run, but this is also not a time where you just totally do that. You still have to possess the ball, move the sticks, and keep the clock moving as well. So they'll run their offense, but yeah, when they have a chance to run it, they'll do that a little bit more.
They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Jaguars first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the fourth, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. If they continue to throw these safe passes, who can blame them?
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him. Ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43.
Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Stopped in his tracks by Ahmad Gardner.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
Etienne once more. And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here.
10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
On the counter, Etienne.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now.
So from the 26-yard line, here's 2nd down and 5. From the gun, it's Lawrence. Now that's to the left sideline and incomplete. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets 14. 12 yards on third down as the drive rolls on. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Back to the ground with ETN.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12.
It was Chuck Clark coming up to make the tackle.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Here's a 2nd and 8. ETN up the middle.
And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line.
4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. On 3rd down, here's ETN.
And he is going to lose yardage here. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
Now the Jets offense gets ready to head back on the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Now Rodgers. And the Jags get to him as down he goes.
That is Joshua Hines-Allen working his way in for the sack. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack as a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
So a tough situation to overcome here. 3rd and 17.
Now it's Rodgers. He's going to let it fly. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture, as now they've got a 1st and 10. Throwing now is Rodgers. And that's complete to Adams. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35.
Now 2nd and 3.
Here's Rodgers. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
One final try now for Rodgers. One last shot at the end zone. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game.
A higher scoring game, Charles, than we typically see in the National Football League, but fun to watch these offenses. They were really clicking. It seemed like everything that they dialed up worked.
Yeah, it certainly was fun to watch from our perspective. How'd you like to be those defensive coaches, though? That wasn't a blast for them at all. And let's face it, they all game plan, they all scout, they all think they're prepared. But executing and stopping teams, that's another matter entirely.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Jaguars are winners here as we say so long from Jacksonville.